Hey everyone, so for today, I'm going to be starting off with my Quick FX Tinted Moisturizer, and I'm using this because I don't have a drugstore primer. So if ever you have a primer, just go ahead and use that. I'm doing this step because I wanted to create that barrier between my face and my makeup. Now for foundation, I'm just going to be using my SanSan HD High Definition Foundation, and I'm just going to use a pump because this foundation is very thick and it transfers. So beware if ever you're gonna be like dancing all night because it transfers. Don't stick too near your partner, just leave space for the Holy Spirit. And yeah, I'm just gonna blend that out with my Everblend sponge. This is the new sponge that I saw in the department store, and it's actually okay. I purchased it, I think, for 200 pesos. And yeah, with what's left at the back of my hand, I'm just gonna apply that on my acne scars and blemishes because of course we just want to cover them up for prom. We want to look picture perfect, right? So yeah. For concealer, I'm gonna be using my Shawill Pro Conceal concealer, and this one has like light coverage, but it looks really natural on the skin and it's super duper blendable. So yeah, I'm just gonna apply that on my under eye area, forehead, down the bridge of my nose, cupid's bow, and in my chin. To avoid creasing, I'm going to be taking my Nichido final powder in the shade Pink Glow and set the areas where I applied concealer, and I'm also going to use this to set my foundation. The eyeshadow palette I'm going to be using is my Fashion 21 Eyeshadow Bar, and I'm going to take this off-white matte shade to kind of use this as my eyeshadow base. And I'm just going to apply that all over my eyelid. Next, I'm gonna take this burnt red shade. I'm planning to do a halo smoky eye. That's why I'm gonna be applying this in the inner and outer corners of my eyes. I'm kind of fast forwarding this part just so you guys can see the entire process. As much as possible, try to avoid the center of your lid because we're gonna be adding another shade there later. Next, I'm just gonna seamlessly blend the harsh edges with a blending brush. Using my finger, I'm just gonna take this gold eyeshadow and apply that on the center of my lids. As you guys can see, it really makes a huge difference when you do this step as it creates dimension on the eyes. Then I'm just gonna blend out the two colors together. Since it's prom, I opted to go for a small baby wing, but if you're up for the whole long and bold winged eyeliner, just go ahead and do that. But if you're a beginner, I highly suggest for you to just line your lash line because it takes some time to perfect a winged eyeliner look, and I wouldn't risk it if I were you since it's prom and you're gonna take a lot of photos. I'm gonna be mixing these two shades right here and blend that out in my lower lash line. Then I'm also gonna take that gold shade and apply that on the center part of my lower lash line and blend that out also with that same brush. To fill in my brows, I'm gonna be taking my Intuit eyebrow powder, and I'm just gonna use the darkest shade since the middle shade is too red and the first shade is too light. So yeah, I'm just gonna be brushing my brows in place and apply that eyebrow powder. I'm just gonna sweep off that excess Nichido final powder underneath my eyes and take my EB Advanced Blush and Bronzer Duo. I'm going to be taking that bronzy shade kind of to contour the rest of my face and to add dimension to it. Using that same palette, I'm just going to be taking the blush shade and apply that on the apples of my cheeks. For highlighter, I'm just going to take my Shawill Mineral Eyeshadow in the shade 005, and you really need just a tiny bit of the product. That's why I super tapped off the excess. And yeah, I just applied it on the high points of my cheeks. Don't go too overboard with this product because it is very glittery and it can emphasize your pores. I'm also going to be applying that at the tip of my nose, the bridge of my nose, and my cupid's bow. For the lipstick, I'm just going to be taking my EV matte lipstick in the shade Mauvey, and I chose this lip color because it's almost the same shade as my natural lip color. To top off this look, I'm just going to be taking my Elise lashes, and you don't have to use false eyelashes for prom. You can just use mascara, but for today, I decided to go a little extra and use my false lashes. But I don't recommend using these lashes because the band is very thick and hard to apply, so if you're a beginner, you might have a hard time applying it. Then when the glue is somewhat dry, I'm just going to go over that with my liquid eyeliner. So this is the completed look. I really hope you guys enjoy prom, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Peace out.